was clearly checking the surveillance footage, but when he pointed a laser at the screen, the person in the footage actually noticed the red dot. At that very moment, the surveillance feed suddenly went dark. Paul instantly realized they had been lying to him all along. This was no ordinary security camera. In fact, Paul had already noticed something strange the day before. The people in the footage seemed to sense they were being watched. With the truth now exposed, the others could no longer hide it. They had to reveal the enormous secret. It turned out the government had spent tens of billions of dollars building a massive particle collider. The enormous energy produced in an instant could fold space itself. So what Paul had been watching wasn't a video feed. It was a real-time window into 4 days in the past. Hearing this, Paul had an idea. If they could see 4 days into the past, then maybe they could go back and stop a terrorist attack before it happened. Everyone immediately objected. No one could guarantee Paul would survive traveling through space-time. But Paul wasn't discouraged. He suggested a safer approach, sending a piece of paper back to his past self. Without delay, they wrote a message and sent it through the collider. And the paper didn't disappoint. It really appeared in Paul's office 4 days earlier. However, because of the massive power the collider consumed, sending the message caused a citywide blackout. When power was restored, they confirmed the paper had arrived at Paul's office. But by then, Paul had already left. It was his partner, Larry, who saw the message. Without hesitation, Larry rushed to the ferry terminal. Meanwhile, in the surveillance feed, Paul had just located the suspect. And at that moment, Larry's car arrived at the scene.
Where's my movie?
That's when Paul finally understood why Larry, who was supposed to be on vacation, had shown up at the ferry. It was all because of the note they had sent. In other words, they had interfered with the timeline, and the consequence of that interference was Larry's death.